7 News with Michael Usher.
Good evening. Right now, police around the country are trying to contact 79 people who called 000 during today's Telstra meltdown but remain unaccounted for. The company spent the day frantically contacting hundreds who made an emergency call and has now handed it over to police to start knocking on doors. It has been a disaster for Telstra since its network collapsed before dawn and its boss is on holidays.
Ground to a halt, arteries of the nation sit empty. Rail services down in Victoria, New South Wales, the ACT, national freight paused. Tens of thousands of businesses losing EFTPOS.
Very frustrating.
EFTPOS down for a while?
Yeah, for us and the customers.
Many going old school with bank transfers or cash.
Some people actually didn't have any internet, so they couldn't do the bank transfers.
So we do have a problem with Telstra, and I'm using my hotspot here.
Issues with Telstra began emerging early this morning, signalling headaches for commuters.
I mean, it's frustrating, but what can you do?
I tell my manager I have to go to Telstra.
And those already at work.
I had difficulties contacting my clients to be able to do my deliveries.
We can't do anything until the outage stops.
Australia's largest telco, often the emergency network intermittently blacking out for hours.
000 calls follow a different settings in our network, and therefore they were not impacted in the same way.
But they were impacted.
I had a couple of failed calls this morning because obviously I needed to know if 000 was working.
Late this afternoon, it was revealed more than 300 calls didn't go through. Police now going door to door to check on the 79 callers who Telstra couldn't reach.
The volume of these welfare checks was higher than we expected.
One Nation had raised the prospect of an attack by China.
I don't want to be sort of, conspiracy theorist, startle. But I do think a diligent process is to make sure that this is, there's nothing malevolent in this.
When it comes to matters of national security, you shouldn't make stuff up.
Barnaby's theory shut down by the Home Affairs Office. Telstra blaming broken timers inside 2 data centres in Sydney and Melbourne, upending lives and services across Australia.
But we are confident we have identified a software defect. We've been able to isolate it.
Telstra is yet to say if it'll offer compensation for the blackout. But coming off the back of last year's deadly Optus outage, the communication giant is now facing similar fines in the tens of millions of dollars. Telstra's CEO is on leave, the communications minister calling hers off. Tonight the network has largely returned to business as usual for a business many won't want to let off the hook.
So let's go live now to our reporters with his developing details tonight. First to Jacqueline Robson in Canberra. And Jackie, this crisis has certainly escalated dramatically in the past hour.
Michael, this has been a disaster for Telstra, which just got significantly worse. While it's pleased its system is back up and running, the fact that police have had to take control, dispatching officers across the country to find as many as 79 people tells you just how serious this now is. Telstra admitting a short time ago it doesn't know if some of those people require medical care, and if so, what condition they're in. They're also warning about scammers pretending to be Telstra to try and rip people off during this crisis, which is far from over.
All right, from Jacqueline Robson in Canberra, let's go to Andrew Denny, who's in the CBD outside Telstra. Andrew, 13 of those 000 welfare checks were in New South Wales.
Well, that's right. Police say they have now checked on 9 of those potentially at-risk customers at the request of Telstra and report all are okay, with 4 further checks still to take place. All services were apparently restored around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Anyone who is still experiencing issues is advised to reboot their mobile phones, and hopefully that will address the problem. Today, though, is of course the latest in a frustrating line of telco outages, none bigger than in 2023 when 10 million Australians were cut off by Optus for the day. Last year, another Optus outage where 4 people died when access to the 000 network failed. Last month, Vodafone went down, and today Telstra, with the communications minister today saying that telcos are now amongst the least trusted companies in the country.
Andrew Denny reporting there.